In the Dead Rising games, there are bosses called psychopaths. Now, I've already covered the best out of the lot, but what about if we looked at the worst of the lot? That's right, I'm here to tell you that not all of the bosses in Dead Rising are perfect. In fact, some of them fucking suck, some of them are just meh, some of them are just way too easy to the point where it's not even a boss battle, it might as well just be killing a normal survivor. So let's take a look at the top 10 worst psychopaths in the Dead Rising series. Now I do want to note that Dead Rising 4 does not count, because it's not canon. Not just that, because I fucking hate the game, but that's just me. And also, this list is going to be biased towards my opinion. Now, if you disagree, agree, for whatever reason, make sure you leave your opinion in the comments. I'd love to hear some discussion. From now, let's jump right into the video.
Hello? Hello? Special delivery. Signature required. A signature is required!
Coming at number 10, we have Carl the Mailman from Dead Rising 2. Carl is one of the later game bosses you encounter during Dead Rising 2. As you can tell by the cart that randomly spawns in the middle of Royal Flush Plaza. 9 times out of 10 you're going to encounter this cart walking home to the safe house after getting a survivor. So it's obviously going to be there at a very convenient place at a very convenient time. That's why it's easier to access this boss than most. However, the cool part about this boss is that Carl is actually delivering Zombricks. However, when he finds out that Chuck Green is the man signing the papers to get the package, he gives him a different package, and as it turns out to be an explosive.
What the fuck?
That destroys the car. In a blind rage, Carl picks up a shotgun and fights Chuck, and inevitably loses. Why is this on number 10, you ask? Well, because of how expressive Carl is in this game. They made his emotions really apparent, his body language is actually really good, and his character is actually fucking hilarious. Like the fact that there's actually music in the back when he's pledging his allegiance to being a mailman. And also some trivia, the voice actor for Carl is actually the same voice actor for Double D from Ed, Edd n Eddy, which is a slight bonus because obviously everyone loves his voice. However, the reason why it's on the worst is that his boss fight is meh. It's not really anything crazy, it's just very annoying. It's a man holding a shotgun. It's kind of difficult to do anything. However, he gets particularly annoying when he starts throwing the mailman bombs, because that means he has 2 ranged attacks. However, he's pretty much just dead by the time you even get to that point. And his death scene's not really too good. You do get some value when you beat Carl, as when you kill him he gives you the Zombricks package and blows himself up. So all in all, he's not great, but he's not terrible either. That's all you can give Carl in this game.
This one's a special delivery. Express. Looky here, if it ain't little Chucky Queen.
Coming in number 9, we have Leon the contestant from Dead Rising 2. You meet Leon at the very start of the game, where he makes a remark about Chuck's wife and is immediately fired back with a one-liner for Chuck. However, during the start to mid-game, you can encounter him again as a psychopath battle. It's where you meet a survivor who's in need of assistance, only for Leon to ambush Chuck and then immediately kill the survivor.
That wasn't a zombie. Yeah, no shit, Chuck. Twice the points.
Double points!
However, when you engage in this psychopath battle, Leon gives you the keys to a motorcycle which you can use to follow him. However, 99% of the time that's not really worth doing because you're probably doing something else to not even bother. And then Leon just so happened to activate his cutscene. Obviously Leon is not likeable in the slightest, so this already puts him in a bad position. However, when you put his boss fight, he's painfully easy and obviously very fucking broken boss fight into perspective. It's just, he's not a good, he's not a good boss. He can get stuck in the wall, you can sometimes seize out, sometimes he just stays in place doing nothing, sometimes he goes too fast to even land a shot, and half the time you can't even get close enough to hit him with a melee weapon. However, when you do get him with a melee weapon, he takes a lot of damage. Even at a low level, he takes a lot of damage. And then when you kill him, you get access to his trailer, which you'll never use. Let's just put that out there. He's not a very good psychopath. He's just a time waster, at least in my opinion. However, what saves him from being much lower in this list is that you get good rewards from him at least. The bike combination thing being a possibility. And you also have the uneasing thought that Leon could kill your survivors at any moment while you're transporting them. And obviously killing him off prevents that. And then there's no more threat. So Leon does have use. He's very annoying, but he does pose a threat, which I think a psychopath should do. However, he's not exactly great.
But never forget, chump, I'm number one! Yeah, you're on fire.
You are pissing off the wrong woman!
She got me the damn eye!
Man, did she put my nuts back up in there?
Bitch! You! I've had enough of you two playing hard to get.
Gonna rip your heart out, boy.
Oh, you're in trouble now, boy.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah! You're dead now. Here comes the bomb.
Whoa!
Yeah! Yeah!
Yeah! Come on.
Coming at number 8, we have Hunter, the gang leader from Dead Rising 3. I bet you thought this list was going to be all Dead Rising 2, didn't you? Hunter is the first boss. If you didn't encounter Z, the other boss that is based on the Sin Wrath, then you're going to encounter Hunter, which is the first story mode psychopath boss. Now, as for Hunter, he's just very easy, like to the point where it's not even a challenge half the time. Especially when you're a low level, he just can be disposed of pretty quickly. The strat is really obvious and simple. And as a psychopath, he's just incredibly bland and uninteresting. He's just like generic, crazy bike leader. What makes this more and more annoying to put this at this level is that they dedicated an entire DLC to this guy's backstory, and it's actually pretty solid. Just for him to get killed off in a psychopath battle though, it really sucks. There's nothing interesting about Hunter, like minus the story DLC. And there's literally nothing really... He doesn't stand out, that's what I'm trying to get out. His boss fight's pretty simple and easy. His overall character is pretty bland and boring. Hell, even his minions had more personality than he does, and that's saying something. So yeah, Hunter is just a pretty big meh. He's not really a good psychopath. Hell, he's not even a psychopath. He might as well just be a boss fight, a very boring one at that.
You're gonna die, you know this. You are going to suffer, and you are going to die. The only way you're leaving here is in a coffin.
Coming in at number 7, we have Reed and Roger, the magicians from Dead Rising 2. Now, you encounter Reed and Roger in the slot ranch casino where they're performing a magic trick. And obviously it goes wrong, Chuck just watches and shouts that it's not magic. Then Reed goes on about a 40-minute rant about how being a magician's hard work and that he's gonna make Chuck die pretty much.
It's not magic. She's dead.
Obviously, they tried really hard to make this boss fight funny, and it's kind of obvious judging by the introduction cutscene. However, they did try and sprinkle some crazy into there, which I can appreciate, but at the end of the day, they just don't hit it, I'm afraid. The whole magicians being crazy kind of act just doesn't suit the Dead Rising universe, at least in my opinion. Reed and Roger are just a big meh in terms of the intro cutscene. And as for their boss fight, this is where it gets a little bit annoying. Reed is the ranged kind of character, where he'll shoot fireworks from his firework and minigun pretty much. And then Roger's going to be the close range character who stabs the fuck out of you the moment you get even a minute close to him. And then once you completely kill one of them off, you still have the one to defeat. It's not like one of the story bosses where you kill one and the fight ends. You have to kill both of them, which can be problematic if you broke all your weapons used on the one boss, just for the other one to just kind of cuck you, I guess. And then immediately once you kill them, the only thing that's even satisfying about this psychopath fight is the death thing, because then you see Roger crawl over to Reed and fall, you know. Yeah, that. That's what makes this boss fight kind of memorable in my eyes, is that the only thing I remember from it is how annoyingly bullshit the fight was, and the ending cutscene being fucking hilarious. That's the only really time they've struck the funny point on this boss, is when Roger stabs the fuck out of Reed, which is sad because you could have done a lot with these two. However, overall I think this psychopath just didn't hit what it was trying to do, and it was just a big overall meh. It wasn't really anything special, aside from the deaths.
I've always wanted to do that.
You're green.
That's right.
Coming in at number 6, we have Slappy from Dead Rising 2. Now I know what you're thinking, don't comment hate because Slappy is pretty far down this list. I do want to explain myself first. Slappy is an incredible psychopath, no doubt about it. Story wise, incredible. Design wise, incredible. Voice acting wise, incredible. Like, he's just that good. And I didn't include him in my top 10 best psychopaths list because obviously I was judging from battle, personality and cutscene. And this is where it gets hairy. Now you see, Slappy obviously is a teenage mascot who went crazy from his girlfriend / date getting killed from the zombies.
Naked, did I just catch you? Simping? Oh!
And blames Chuck Green for it. Pretty simple plot, right? Well, yeah, it's pretty simple. That's not much to it. However, the performance makes him incredible. He sounds genuinely distressed, he sounds genuinely insane among that. And you have a strong start, don't you? A strong start of a psychopath. The introduction is good, the fear factor is in, the intimidation is in. Overall looks good, right? Then you have his boss fight. Holy fucking god, I despise everything about this boss fight. His weakness is unclear, he has literally no stunning time, without the water guns anyway, and I'll get to that in a moment. And he has 3 bullshit effects. There's flamethrowers that go around almost every fucking 5 minutes, which get rid of the zombies, but then you have his fucking grenade launcher attack, which not only sends you flying, but it does fucking tons of damage. And then you have the attack where he gets close and puts a Slappy mask on you, and you have a quick time event to try and get it off. But here's the thing, even if you get the mask off in time, he still hits you with the charge attack. Although that makes him open, it's still annoying that you take damage no matter what you do. And obviously that's infuriating and it has killed me quite a few times. And then you have his death scene that tries really hard, like to the point where it's a bit cringe, a bit creepy. And while it does work to a similar extent, it just doesn't hit it. And then they go one step further to try and make this Slappy boss a Steve from the shop in Dead Rising 1, but they add a jump scare into his death scene. However, you can kind of see it coming, and there's not really any point to it aside from the scare factor. Now, it does work, I do give it that, but it's just, looking back on it now, now that I'm older,
Don't worry, kids!
It just seems a bit too much. They did too much to make him crazy. They kind of strayed away from what his motives were to get revenge for his his date. And they kind of twisted it into him just accepting the ideology that he's Slappy, which I can kind of appreciate, but it just doesn't hit home for me personally. So yeah, Slappy's at number 6. He would have been so much better if that boss fight was just a lot more bearable. But sadly, his boss fight is just unbearable. I didn't want to make him really low, so 6 is the perfect kind of number for him.
Hello? Anybody in here? What the hell?
Coming in at number 5, we have the Doctor from Dead Rising 3, Albert. Now, you meet Albert as one of the story boss fights, and you get drugged, you get taken away by him, and then it becomes this mad thing like, oh my god, this drug is making me see people. And basically this fight is summed up, is you playing an everlasting game of Guess Who. You have to slam these organ containers on the ground and see which one reacts to the point where it gives you an XY prompt. And obviously you do this 5, 6, 7 times. Yeah, that's the boss fight. I'm not even shitting you. And then you have the attacks where he can pounce on you and just overall fuck you up. Then you have the possibility of hitting or killing a survivor, which is also annoying. And yeah, his boss fight is just really, really tedious and boring. There's not much to it. There's like, it's literally just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. There's no strategy like other boss fights. There's no dodging, there's no nothing. It's literally just do this, do that, guess this, guess that. It's not good. It's original, I'll give it that, but it's just not good. And as for the character himself, yep. Generic, I want all the organs doctor, crazy doctor. It's just overdone at this point. Not really any value to be had there. So yeah, that's what I think of Albert. Albert's just, he's too generic, and his boss fight doesn't help him in the slightest.
No! That's gonna kill my profit margin! They want to get their hands on it, but it's mine!
That's what I'm talking about. God, you are incredible, Jerry.
Excuse me, Jerry? It's not safe here. Hey, mister. What did you say?
Coming in at number 4, we have Jerry, the bodybuilder from Dead Rising 3. Now, Jerry's just boring. Straight up, like, I do get what they were going for, like the, oh look, they look like a man, but they're actually a woman. Haha, funny. It's just, it tries really hard. It's not that funny, at least in my opinion. And it's obvious that this boss only exists for the sake of existing as a boss. Like, there's literally no motive. They're not really crazy, I guess. They're just incredibly prideful, which, ironically enough, Jerry is the boss of pride in that game. However, it just doesn't seem needed. Like, you could literally make anything pride, but you made a bodybuilder one among the most boring and just generic kind of boss fights in the game. Big muscly woman who has a weight and charges it and hits you with it, throws weights at you. Yay! I mean, at least this one has strategy, unlike most boss fights. This is what you have to give it. But among the really boring and just and obviously really awkward setting, it just seems like they tried way too hard to make this boss humorous. At least in my opinion, this boss is just really disappointing and obviously quite easy actually. The QTEs are really easy, the landing hits are really easy, dodging is really easy. There's not really any difficulty to be had here, and this is decently far into the game as well. It's not mid-early game, it's actually mid to end game. So to have a boss this easy, whereas we've had bosses like Diego or Darlene, bosses who are actually very fucking difficult, but can be beaten at the same time. That's the kind of bosses I'm looking for here. Whereas Jerry is just painfully easy and honestly quite cringe.
Wow, I hate this.
Randall, my son, I think you should reconsider what...
Randy!
Father, call me Randy.
Get on with it! Coming in at number 3, we have Randy the Virgin from Dead Rising 2. Now, Randy at the start has a decent introduction. You know he's disgusting, you know he's a psychopath, you know he's messed up in the head. Things are going great, and he has a pretty recognisable weapon too. And obviously there's some lore building where the dead bride in the background. So this means that he has tried to do this once before, which obviously is a good start. He has a good story and is well, he's a psychopath, let's put it at that. But when Chuck intervenes the wedding, he obviously, mercilessly by the way, kills his own dad and then threatens Chuck, and then the boss fight begins. Now obviously a strong start for an intro cutscene. Then you have the boss fight. The boss fight is absolutely insufferable. I despise every single section of it. He has barely any weakness. Ranged weapons are seemingly your only option, but even then he charges at you. He can hit you through the wall, and obviously he doesn't even have any obvious weaknesses. You're literally left defenseless. And I read off that apparently you have to shoot him in the groin, and it makes him open. What? How was anyone in any universe going to assume that, oh, his weak point's the dick, maybe I'll shoot him in the dick? Not everyone is going to assume that the dick is the weak spot. As humorous as that is, not everyone's going to do that. Like, legit, I barely know any weaknesses of this character. Like, to my knowledge, he has none. And then he has like a shit ton of health. Early on in the game, he is really difficult to defeat, but what redeems him, kind of, is his intro and his outro cutscene. And the reason why he's so low on this list is his boss fight. Like, his boss fight is literally the most insufferable, the most unintelligible, and the most boring bullshit in all of the game. I've been killed multiple times from being hit through a wall than I care to admit. So yeah, that's why the boss fight specifically is why Randy is at number 3.
You may now kiss the bride.
The movement is growing. Soon, we'll all be part of the change.
Hey, buddy. You okay?
Like, alright, I'll say the N.
Coming in at number 2, we have Brandon the Protester from Dead Rising 2. Now let me just start this off by saying, fuck this boss, fuck everything to do with this boss, and fuck anyone who thought this boss was a fucking good idea. Brandon is the most boring and most generic, insane / crazy person in the entire fucking game, to the point where people roast him for looking like a crazy version of Shaggy from fucking Scooby-Doo. Like, school, the zombies gotta be free, school. And then you have his fucking boss fight. His boss fight is absolute fucking pain. You try and use a ranged weapon on him, he's just gonna run up to you and stab the shit out of you, taking away about what? Not 1, not 2, but potentially 3 high fucking health bars. And if you try and get close quarters, he just slashes you with his glass and fucks you up. Like, honest to God, he's literally one of the most insufferable bosses to me early on in the game. That he deserves a number 2 spot on this fucking list, I swear to fucking God. And don't get me wrong, this may seem really biased, and to an extent it is, but this boss is not enjoyable to fight at all. The intro cutscene is weak.
It's so radical. It's beautiful, man.
Please, help me.
No.
boss fight is just absolutely fucking nightmare fuel. Healing is like absolute pain, especially if you didn't bring that many weapons, and because if you're a low level, you have low inventory slots, you're going to struggle to bring food, and you're probably going to bring more weapons than actual food. So then you have Brandon fucking you up, and you going on a 40-minute hunt for food to heal up. And then you have his death scene. Boring, again. Like, they didn't even try, it's just, oh no, you got bit by a zombie, guess I'll die. Are you shitting me? Like, there is literally zero redeeming qualities to this boss. You don't get his weapon, or his shard of glass I guess, which already puts him off at a bad start. You don't get any special buffs out of it, except for some shitey survivor that gives you like, what, 12,000 PP? Which can be good at an early start, but when you go back and fight him at a later level, it just seems really meh. It's like, I did all that for nothing. Like, there's literally no good rewards aside from survival, which is, let's be honest, is barely a reward. There's no there's no unlockables, there's no glass weapon you can get from the bathroom, there's nothing. He literally offers zero, and he gives zero. He's horrible boss fight wise, and he's boring cutscene and character wise. So Shaggy gets a number 2 spot on this list.
No.
Nacho cheese.
And finally, coming in at the number 1 spot for the absolute worst Dead Rising Psychopath, in my opinion, goes to Ted the Sloth. Or, yeah, that guy. He's not even interesting. So you meet Teddy in his own mansion, where he talks to you on a TV screen, pretty much saying, oh, I've been waiting for the military for about 20 years and they never came. Oh, could you get me a packet of crisps from down the road, mate? Cheers. And then he gets pissed off because you're not leaving, and then he calls these little remote control helicopters. And you want to guess what the boss fight is? You have to destroy 3 control panels to unlock the door. That's it. I wish I was shitting you, but no, that's literally the boss fight. And then, okay, but let me elaborate. You open the door, you go down into the basement, you approach him and confront him, maybe get an ally. Nope, he just dies. Like, he literally shits himself and dies. Like, what? So let me get this straight. You're going to give us a boss fight who, number 1, is boring and uninteresting from the start. Number 2, has the most boring and just, I don't want to say lazy because it's ironic, but the most lazy / boring boss fight in the world, combined with helicopters that barely do any damage or do anything to threaten you whatsoever. And then you're going to throw it in where you literally can't get a boss fight against him himself because he shits himself to death. Really? And what's worse, you don't even get anything good out of it. You get, oh, guns, wow. Definitely couldn't get those from the locker or anything. Definitely couldn't get those from the police station, from her in the game or behind in the game. You can literally get guns from everywhere. Like, there's no reward for it. You get barely anything out of him. You barely get any enjoyment out of him because his boss fight's just so fucking boring and dead. It's literally like, go here, go here, go here. You win. Congratulations. Do you feel accomplished? I fucking don't. This psychopath is shit. And it's not even a psychopath, it's just some fucking geek in the basement who shits himself to death and then expects you to feel accomplished. That's a genuine psychopath. They put time and resources into someone who does literally nothing but shit himself to death. Really? No boss fight, no cool, like, I don't know, mecha suit or some shit. Just make this interesting. Oh, man, just add an extra phase, just do fucking something, not just, oh, I've destroyed these 3 panels, go to him and then he dies, you win, the end, yeah. No. Make this interesting, give him an actual, like, a mental illness. Like, that's what the psychopaths really strive for. They're just mentally unwell people who just threaten you pretty much. But just make this character interesting. He sucks. This boss fight sucks. The outcome sucks. Everything about this fucking fight sucks. Just do fucking something other than making fucking shit. But outrage aside, That is number 1. Worst Dead Rising psychopath in all of Dead Rising. Oh, by the way, all of Dead Rising 4 is number 1.